In this video, we're going to start putting down some dimensions with our tape measure tool, laying down some guidelines to create our kind of rectangle or our perimeter of our classroom that we measured in our last assignment. So starting out, the first thing we want to do is we want to know that I have my model still here. I'm in the top view, so they're just basically sitting there. It's a 2D model. It's not actually 3D. That's why she looks like a line. If I were to orbit, meaning pushing the button, my scroll button in and kind of tilting, you'll see that, oh, she's still there. Anyway, though, I'm going to my top view again. Remember, I want to start in my top view, and I'm going to go to a tool called the tape measure tool. The tape measure tool is the top tool of the third tool set from the bottom, and it works by selecting with the hook. It makes a guideline. If we select, drag to the right, and then click again to drop it, or click and drag and drop, all we have to do is type in data, all right? So entering data here, we don't want to try to click anywhere. We just want to type on our keyboard, and we want to come in and type in 66 feet, that's that apostrophe, and then space 8. We don't need to put the inch mark because SketchUp knows what we're referring to that way. And then I want to hit enter. Now, if it goes away, what's happened is we are zoomed in, and I want to use my scroll wheel to back out. Right, and you can see that there my line is. There's my model still. It's much smaller, all right, because it's 66 feet. She's probably a couple feet wide, okay? Now, with that being said, we're going to use the tape measure tool to do the same thing going from the red axis. And this is going to be our wall that's facing the north up in the top part where the guideline is. And that is going to be 26 feet. And then space 8 inches. Enter. Now that I have my overall perimeter of my rectangle, the next thing I want to do is add that little kick out to the room on the north wall, and that is going to be another entry of like 3 tape measure points. And that is, first of all, starting from the green axis again, sliding over from the left, we want to go in 6'8" from that west-facing wall, and that is 6 feet, space 8 inches. Now that I have that, the next thing I want to do is use my previous guideline on the north wall and select that with my tape measure and slide up, drop that, and then I'm going to put that down at 2 feet, 8 inches. Enter. The next thing is I want to come in and I want to go from my east-facing wall, 11 feet, 4 inches. And I just noticed in the last clip that I didn't have to actually have a space in between. It entered the right piece. I didn't know that. All right, now, the next thing is I have my original rectangle set up and the little kick out up here on top. I just need to now use some rectangle tool to draw that shape. Now, coming over, first of all, the rectangle tool is found over here. It is the, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tool down on the left-hand tool set. If I select it there, and the other part is if I wanted to hit it, the easier way is just hitting the letter R on your keyboard. That switches to it. So I want to go over to my origin, and I'm going to select my origin, and I'm going to move across, and where I want to go to is my far intersection. Not the top intersection, because that's the kick-out portion of the room. I don't want to do that right now. I'm just going to do this basic rectangle, the start of it. And then the next thing I want to do is use the same, or use the top portion over here, this top intersection where we laid that guideline down at that 6 feet 8 in, and I want to go across to my 11.4 intersection at that 2 foot 8 up. And now I have a couple of different rectangles. I want that to all be one piece, so the next thing I'm going to do is use the selection tool to select this line, not the surface. You can zoom in, you can see what you've got selected, by the way, a little bit better. Now I have that blue line, and the next thing I want to do is I just want to hit the backspace button to delete that. Now this is one perimeter all the way around, and we are set up and ready to do our next part in the next part of the assignment, which is going to be offsetting that. The one thing I do want to check before I leave here is just my dimensions. Make sure they're right. So going into my tape measure, I want to select the dimension tool. I want to select the edges that I just made, click on them, slide out, drop them. And I want to do that for all of my dimensions. I need to check just to make sure that I entered things correctly. And I didn't use that 48 inches, but just kind of nice to know. And then the other thing is 2'8", and then the bottom overall. Once I have all my dimensions pulled and I check to make sure that they're the right things, I should be good to go and ready for the next video. Thanks for watching. Hope it's working for you. Edit and undo if we made mistakes.